don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud, shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll, let's go. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express.
Celebrate our newest launch, Rev 7. I'm bringing you an amazing introductory offer, plus an exclusive overstock sale that you're not going to want to miss. Rev 7 is our premium energy drink that tastes great and gives you energy all day with no jitters and no crashes. That's because there's no sugar and no caffeine. I'm so sure you're going to love Rev 7 that for a limited time you can try our 3-pack absolutely free. Or check out our Percale bed sheets. I can't believe I'm even going to say this. Every color, every style, every size, only $29.88. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 20% on our Rev 7 12-packs or try our introductory 3-pack absolutely free. And our Percale bed sheets, all sizes, only $29.88, even the queens and kings. Inventory is extremely limited, so order now.
That's right, folks. Order now. Welcome back. Oreo Express. Josh here. Hope you're having a fabulous afternoon, evening, watching from wherever you're watching. Thanks for tuning in. If I can ask you, hit that thumbs up, show some love, and also share this out if you will. We appreciate you guys, and thank you for doing everything you do, guys. Can't believe that. I watch that MyPillow commercial every day, and every day it kind of just reminds me Christmas is coming. It's going to be right around the corner, and I'm going to try not to be caught this year with like a couple days left. Speaking of that, I told you my son's birthday, my oldest, is in 2 days. I still got to run to the store and get him a gift card or something. I ask him, what do you need? Or what do you want for your birthday? And he tells me, I have everything I need, Dad. I'm like, oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. You work 2 jobs. There's something you need. Even if it's something for, groceries, you got to need something. But don't forget to head over to mypillow.com. Check out their great deals and use promo code Oreo. So we got some stuff to talk about today. But first, let me go over here in the chat. We got some folks up in here. Trina, hello. Pixie, Becky Boo, Jay keeps asking, Texas Bigfoot, Jalen, let's see, Darlene, who else? Susan, Matt, let's see, did I say Sugar Bear? Nola, Texas Bigfoot, Old Uncle Bill in the house, Trina Clark, KLM79, Carrie's Musings, Trina. Thank you guys for being in here. We appreciate it. We're going to have a lot to talk about today. We got some crazy videos, just some stuff I thought you guys would like to see. But we're going to talk about, again, Epstein. Even CNN calling out the lying Democrats a little bit. Gavin Newsom, former chief of staff, arrested after a 3-year investigation into fraud and campaign stuff. We're going to talk about that. Arrested this morning, had a court hearing at 2 o'clock today, and we'll give you the details of all that. RFK Jr. and JD Vance at a MAHA event, Make America Healthy Again event. And it was a lot of, it was a really good, we're just going to share you bits and pieces, but a lot of fun. These people are laid back, having a good time. And there's a possibility there'll be some mortgage help on the way. we've talked about this under Biden, how much interest rates went up. They've came down some under Trump, but not enough to make housing affordable, especially for first-time home buyers. But they're floating an idea, and I kind of like this one. I actually thought about this years ago when I was dealing with my own mortgage. And so we're going to cover that. And we have the activist judge we talked about yesterday that's ordering the release of, what was it, over 700 illegals that were detained by ICE in Chicago. We got those updates, all that and more. So once again, thank you for tuning in. And don't forget, you guys got about an hour, maybe a little longer, because I got a lot of show stuff, but about an hour to get in to our raffle with the light up MAGA hat or Trump hat. And we got the Trump calendar, the Charlie Kirk flag, 2 ornaments, and the Turning Point USA bracelet, all those items. So if you guys want to get in, you know how to do it. Our donation links, every $10 entry gets you, or every $10 donation gets you 1 entry. And I want to thank everybody for jumping in. I appreciate it. I don't know about Portland yet. If I might do a live later to see if we can raise money to go, but I don't know if I can go yet. I'm waiting for a call back from my doctor. If he gives me the okay that I don't have to go do some other tests or something, I don't want to be gone, not having insurance for a while. I got to get everything taken care of. But if they say your test's a week and a half away, then I will work with you guys tonight, and we see if we can get money for the hotel, our one-night hotel to get started, and the rental car. So we'll let you know. It'd be nice to get a rental car at 9 a.m., start heading that way. And there's a Patriot weekend going on at the Portland Ice facility. So we'll let you guys all know. And thank you. Thank you. This first one right here. Man, Salinas, California. I just want to show you how crazy this is. In a lot of these cities, you can ride these Japanese or Chinese dirt bikes or these little things. We see it a lot when we go to DC, people riding without helmets, violating the laws, running red lights, all this other stuff. Well, check out this one that happened in Salinas, California. A 16-year-old literally exploded himself when he hit a Nissan Sentra. Take a look at this. It's from a dash cam, actually. Take a look. Holy moly. Show you that one more time right here, and just watch this impact. Running a red light, going pretty fast. Probably he tried to brake. You can't brake those things quick. And ran around on fire. Absolutely wild. And I think we got a little bit of a slow motion here. It says, despite momentarily catching on fire, the 16-year-old suffered only a broken ankle. Police said both the teens were cited for infractions and released to their parents. Let's take a look at this in you look right there. He wanted to find a way to get that bike to turn right there so bad. Stop, drop, and roll, old Uncle Bill says. And then we got another video that I thought was crazy. This is from, I believe, Orange County. Maybe, I don't know if it's Orange County, California. If it's Orange County, they have an Orange County in a lot of places. I know Florida and California are probably the 2 biggest ones. I could be wrong there. But take a look at this. This is insane, guys. What would your dad say right now? Come on now, you old school like me, what would your dad say? Walk it off. Walk it off. Do that again. Now, I don't know about that one. You could have some pretty big internal injuries right there, but even to get up and walk it off, prayers to that person. That was insane. I don't know if you guys have ever watched this guy. When I seen his face, it looks familiar. I'm really big into food. Sometimes I spend 2 hours, not very often, but I can get on this little mode where I'm watching these people that are doing food, how they cook food, how they're using their flat top grill. I guess this guy right here was a kind of like a viral food influencer. His name was Michael Durardi, and he was shot and killed by police in Texas after threatening people. The update comes after his talent agency said he passed away from a horrible accident during a Texas trip shortly after his wedding anniversary. It says Medina County Sheriff's Office say they responded to a call of a male subject with a knife acting erratically. When they arrived at the scene, Durardi allegedly threatened officers. After multiple verbal commands were given for Durarte to get on the ground by the deputy, Durarte charged by the deputy while yelling, "I'm going to kill you," the sheriff's office said. Durarte was shot and pronounced deceased at the hospital. He had 2 million followers across all the platform, and he leaves behind his wife and daughter.
And skewer, and it should look like this. I'm using the Weber kettle over charcoal.
Let's see. These are the videos I love to watch. He looks familiar. I don't know but this guy, I don't know what he was going through.
These viral tortilla beef kebabs with a jalapeno cilantro crema is so easy to make. That's incredible. All you're gonna need is some ground beef, and you're gonna chop that up with some red bell pepper, some red onion, some parsley, 1 jalapeno, and garlic cloves, some seasoning from your spice cabinet, but sumac is key. Mix that up, and with tortillas.
So, yeah, that's kind of like one of those videos I'd tell Rachel, hey, I'm gonna make that. That's interesting. Don't know what this guy was going through, but I thought it was interesting. How about this? You're paying them, guys. These are people that are all funded by your tax dollars. This is Vanessa Hall Harper, a Tulsa City Council member. She had a meltdown where she went off against white people and the city flag, claiming it's racist, and Oklahoma and America represent the KKK. How does Oklahomans elect people like this? Take a look at this. Says, as I humbly served the Oklahoma mass grave site today, I was offended once again. When this work began over 3 years ago, the original Mass Graves Oversight Committee made it clear that we did not want the Tulsa city flag draped over the remains of massacre victims as they were being unearthed and carried to the examination lab for investigation and identification to finally receive justice. To put it in perspective, this is akin to draping a Nazi flag over the remains of a Holocaust victim as they were being carried away from proper religious burials. It says the city of Tulsa is responsible for the 1921 race massacre, so instead we used a black cloak during the transition to the lab. But today I witnessed a reversal back to the same disrespectful systemic crap. What's more disheartening is that the people of African descent involved in this investigation don't even realize how disgustingly disrespectful this is, and continues to allow their white racist power structure to determine how we honor and show respects to our fallen ancestors. Example, white men playing bagpipes when African victims remain being reburied. Sickening. The one thing the African diaspora can always bank on: skin folk that ain't kin folk. Disgraceful. Honor to the ancestors. Wow. And she's got all these responses. This woman is insane, guys. Go figure, right? Come on. Tulsa, you could do better than that. You could do better than that. What do we got here? Thanks for all your prayers. I'm in lots of pain, but they got all the cancer, and that's what matters. Love my Oreo family. Glad to hear that, Jan. I'm glad you're doing better. Get some rest. They got it all. God is good, and we'll be praying for a quick healing for you, Jan. Great news. Great news. We got some good news. We got some good news in the chat. I like that. I'm glad they were able to do that. Let's check this out. Another one that's paid by your tax dollars. We actually covered her in a previous story earlier today about her luxury trips paid by her campaign dollars. We're talking black tie limos. We're talking the Ritz-Carlton. We're talking everything. We're talking ghetto Jesmyn Crockett. Take a look at what she said about MAGA women. This is, I seen this earlier today. Take a
Okay, a lot of the MAGA women receive gender-affirming care, such as lip fillers, breast augmentation, etc. Why do you think they are so against gender-affirming care for trans people?
Look at, she's literally standing by. Never mind. You guys can see it.
You know you want to say it.
Okay, so I have this thing where, like, you know a MAGA woman when you see one.
1000%.
They all have a look, right? But they lips be up to anyway. That's a whole other issue. But yeah, they don't even know, because when that was brought up on the House floor, because there was a discussion about this on the House floor, they were like, "How dare you say we use?" And it's like, no, that's exactly what y'all do. Y'all just didn't realize that that's what it is. But okay.
You know what's interesting is you can always tell a MAGA woman from a non-MAGA woman. You know why? They don't have a penis. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Going out there and insulting folks. Again, I don't know if she's done. I've never heard anything where her constituents have praised anything she does. She's anti-Trump, anti-Republican, anti-America, anti-white people, you name it. Just absolutely insane. She reminds me of like one of those Hollywood actresses that's so out of touch. All her bills are being paid by her constituents, donating here and donating there, and she just goes and lives the life of luxury. The life of luxury. It's but that's all right. Maybe they'll get her for all that campaign finance stuff. She's been talking about running for the Senate now that they've redistricted Texas. And we'll have to see how that works out. This has been going around the news lately. You know what? I forgot to pull this up, but let me pull this up right now. It looks like it was trending too, so it should be easy to find. Trump is now going to be suing the BBC. The BBC deceptively edited Trump's January 6th video. Let's see here. I'm trying to find the video without somebody's face in it. Here it is. But before I play this, let me go over here and give you some of the information. This could be pretty big and a pretty easy lawsuit, I'm going to suggest. Take a look at this.
Thank you, Bev. There's a lot of questions in one there. I will say, I know the president has a very good relationship with Prime Minister Starmer. You have been there. You've seen them in their interactions. You've questioned both leaders in your time joining us when we've gone to the United Kingdom a few different times now. However, he has always been very frank when he disagrees with leaders, even whom he has a good relationship with. And the BBC, being a fair news organization, is definitely an outlet. I think these two leaders would disagree. The president has made it very clear that this is a leftist propaganda machine that is unfortunately subsidized by British taxpayers. And he thinks that's extremely unfortunate for the great people of the United Kingdom and Great Britain. And I think that the president was deeply concerned by the editing, the purposeful and dishonest editing of his speech that was so clearly fake news. And he rightfully dubbed that term many years ago. And this is a classic example of that. We see it in the United States all the time. We see it now in the United Kingdom. External legal counsel has filed a lawsuit against the BBC. We expect that to continue. And whether they apologize or not is up to them.
So when you see the video, you'll understand why. Again, there was a lot of this going on. I wish we could get all of them. But take a look. We were actually here this day at the January 6th rally at Ellipse Park. Take a look at this right here.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you. And we fight. We fight like hell. We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you. And we fight. We fight like hell. We're going to walk down.
It doesn't get more deceptive than editing clips like that. It's the same thing they're doing today with the Epstein, the stuff. Oh, look at these emails, not telling you who the quote victim is. Somebody that already said that Trump was a gentleman, never did anything. She never seen anything inappropriate. But that's what they need to do because they have nothing. They just shut down the government and they're upset that it's about ready to get open up. I think about 38 minutes. We might tune in either at the end of the show or in between to see some of those folks voting there. But I think the BBC could be in a lot of trouble and a lot of money coming their way. How about this? We know we've been talking about healthcare. Republicans want to take away your healthcare. Now, if we remember, Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, first word, affordable. Never happened. They used COVID money. Remember when they got the billions and trillions of dollars of COVID money and they extended that? They added it to people that make so much money. They just wanted to get as many people on. And now Democrats are complaining that they made it expire at the end of 2025 and it's expiring and it's too expensive to continue like it is. It raised the cost of private health care, everything around, but Democrats need something. Take a listen to this here.
Things with the tariff revenue that he's bringing into this country, trillions of dollars are expected. Obamacare, as it's famously called, is a system the Democrats created. It is a broken system. It driven up healthcare costs dramatically in this country. And now they shut the government down to try to fix that system they broke. It doesn't make any sense to us, which is why the president said that's a completely untenable position. However, once the government reopens, the president, as he's always maintained, is absolutely open to having conversations about healthcare. And I think you'll see the president putting forth some really good policy proposals the Democrats should take very seriously to fix, again, the system that they broke. You can't trust the same people who broke the system to fix it. And so the American people will continue to hear from the president on this issue.
Follow up on the question about the $2,000 payments of tariff revenue. The president had also talked about using tariffs to bring down the national debt. Would this be in lieu of that? Like this is now the new way?
So once again, unaffordable. It's been called out numerous times before. And now Democrats are dealing with a problem they created. They wanted back then to have a single payer healthcare system that wouldn't work, that doesn't work, that rations healthcare. And then they used Obamacare to give illegal aliens free healthcare while Americans suffer. Yeah, those days are over. Trump was elected, and we're finally seeing some of the rewards of the fight that we want people to see. I mean, these people Democrats shut down the government, and you can see today that they are pissed as hell that these people, SNAP's going to be reinstated, air traffic controllers, all these people, TSA, the federal employees get to go back to work, and Democrats are ticked off. On this front, really quick, before we get into that, she does mention Epstein, and we're going to mention it too. Take a listen to this.
By House Democrats, separate from why you believe the emails were made public, can you address their substance? Did the president ever spend hours at Jeffrey Epstein's house with a victim?
These emails prove absolutely nothing other than the fact that President Trump did nothing wrong. And what President Trump has always said is that he was from Palm Beach, and so was Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was a member at Mar-a-Lago until President Trump kicked him out because Jeffrey Epstein was a pedophile and he was a creep. And this email you refer to with the name of a victim that was unredacted now and has since been reported on in this room, so I will go ahead and say it, Virginia Giuffre. And it was CBS's own reporting, Ouija, that recently wrote that Miss Giuffre maintained, and God rest her soul, that she maintained that there was nothing inappropriate she ever witnessed, that President Trump was always extremely professional and friendly to her. And so I think it's a question worth asking the Democrat Party, and you should all go ask them after this briefing, of why they chose to redact that name of a victim who has already publicly made statements about her relationship with Jeffrey Epstein and is unfortunately no longer with us. Mary.
Thank you, Galen. 2 questions on this. In the interest of transparency, why not just go ahead and release?
So again, they needed to release something on the day that Republicans once again are saving this country by reopening the government, something that Democrats are very upset about. And again, they redact the name purposely. So, and we showed you all the tweets and everybody, oh, Trump's a pedophile. I can't believe he raped us. Look at the email. It says nothing. Doesn't even, again, they're looking for something and there is nothing.
These emails are clearly
CNN. Once again, Rep. Melanie Stansbury goes out there and says, oh, this is bombshell. And even CNN says, wait a second. Why'd you guys redact the name? And they have to lie about it. Watch. This was epic.
Thank you so much for being with us. What are you taking from these emails?
Yeah, I mean, these emails are clearly extraordinarily explosive. They implicate the president.
Extraordinarily explosive. And they say it implicates the president. Watch this.
That he not only knew what was happening in Jeffrey Epstein's circle, but that he spent time with at least one, if not multiple, of
if not multiple. Where did she, again, just going out there because, again, your party affected American citizens and they are pissed off.
Jeffrey Epstein's named sex victims, as well as there's discussion in the email that you just cited between Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein about the fact that he had been the dog that didn't bark, and they specifically are talking about the police. So what this implicates is that potentially going back all the way to 2011, even after Jeffrey Epstein had been investigated for criminal activity, not just in sex trafficking, but also for financial crimes, which we know U.S. Attorney Acosta lied under his deposition about, that Donald Trump was being named by Epstein and by Ghislaine Maxwell as being the dog that didn't bark on them. And so the question is, what did Donald Trump have on them? Was he engaged in these activities? And why is Donald Trump calling Republican members of the House today and yesterday to threaten them to get off of the discharge petition? If he thinks that we should be focused on the reopening the government, then why is he personally calling Republicans and threatening them right now?
So, because Democrats redacted Virginia Giuffre's name. And I mean, I have to say, these emails.
It came to us redacted. No.
So she right there admits, and then now she's like, how can I cover this up?
No, it came to us.
It came to you redacted. Okay.
Yes, so we don't even know. That is the claim of the White House. So that's something that we should be asking questions about. Yes.
Okay, really interesting. So, and House Republicans came out and mentioned the redaction there. It is of significance that Virginia Giuffre, who was so vocal right, and was not known for pulling any punches about what happened to her, did not accuse Trump of wrongdoing. And so I want to know kind of what you think of that, because there is this discrepancy. You have Epstein saying this in an email to Maxwell. Maxwell, you know, we know about her in terms of her credibility. She doesn't really have credibility, right, when it comes to being honest.
That is just absolutely epic. Absolutely. Well, she's been very publicly. She stated this, but you know what? Democrats don't care. They throw things at the wall and hope something sticks. It gives them a talking point. All legacy media is carrying the Democrats' water again today. And we'll get more into this, but I just think it's epic. And then listen to what CNN has to do. And the Democrats are upset about this too. Take a listen to this.
A note, I mean, these emails, they're raising significant questions. We're going to seek answers, obviously, to those questions. We should note, though, that Trump, he's not been, at this point, implicated of wrongdoing. We do just need to be clear of that. We are asking those questions, of course. These emails do predate his time as president, but certainly we are glad to have you on to talk about.
Trump has not been implicated. You wouldn't know that if you looked at social media and all the people that are being paid to post by the DNC and the political action committees from the Communist Party of the Democrats. Shout out to Karen. Thank you, Karen. Gifted, let's see here, gifted 5 subscriptions over there on Rumble. We appreciate you. Can't do it without you. Everybody, if you got a subscription, everybody give Karen a big thank you. Thank you so much, Karen. Can't do it without you. Can't do it without you. All right, let's move on to what Trump said. You know, this man, I don't know how he does it. Like every day's an attack. Every day's another lie. Every day's just trying to obstruct what the American people voted for. And this is what he had to say in this one. It says the Democrats are trying to bring up the Jeffrey Epstein hoax again because they'll do anything at all to deflect on how badly they've done on the shutdown and so many other subjects. Only a very bad or stupid Republican would fall into that trap. The Democrats cost our country $1.5 trillion with their recent antics of viciously closing our country while at the same time putting many at risk, and they should pay a fair price. There should be no deflections to Epstein or anything else. Any Republicans involved should be focused only on opening up our country and fixing the massive damage caused by the Democrats. Straight, simple, forward. And just to give you an idea, this is how people are shifting. While the government was shut down, they support their food workers. They support all these people. I wanted to show you Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley and how quick those tweets actually change out there. It said, our food service workers, custodians, and security workers keep our government running. But this Republican government shutdown is denying them work and pay. For no fault of their own, the Fair Pay for Federal Contractors Act would ensure they get the back pay that they deserve once the government opens. Oh, so you're behind the government reopening, right? I'm back in D.C. to vote no on the Republican funding bill. No one should be forced to choose between healthcare and food. The people deserve so much better. I won't stop fighting for you and your families. I guess once you're actually got to go vote, the truth comes out, huh? Truth comes out. They can't hide this. They can't hide as much as CNN, MSNBC, the legacy media tries to carry their water. It's not working. How about this? This is Hakeem Jeffries, Dollar Store Obama right here. Says with the article or the caption says with a shutdown vote just hours away, Rep. Jeffries stands with dozens of Democrat House members in opposition to the deal. I'll put this up here. You can't make this up. And then we can talk about what Trump was talking about.
House Democrats.
They did this partially because of an election. They wanted their people in their party worked up and upset. Media to go out and attack Trump and Republicans. And we're starting to see the truth here. We're starting to see the truth here.
Democrats are here on the Capitol to reiterate our strong opposition to this spending bill because it fails to address the Republican health care crisis and it fails to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credit. House Democrats will continue to support our men and women in uniform.
Really? Really? You didn't want them paid. You shut down the government.
We will continue to support hardworking federal employees. We will continue to support our law enforcement personnel.
Where's all this coming from, guys? Where's all this coming from? You just refused all those people, TSA, all those people. You just refused them paychecks, shut down the government for no reason whatsoever. And then within a week after election, you're deciding to open up the government now. Interesting. Let's just finish this off because I've never heard Democrats so excited to support law enforcement. Wow.
House Democrats will continue to support our air traffic controllers.
Where were they the last 40-something days?
We will continue to support our TSA agents.
Where were you the last 40-something days?
We will continue to support our civil servants who have been under attack since day one of the Trump administration.
They did nothing, folks. The Democrats, they are upset. I mean, obviously that did motivate their base to get out and vote. They got people all talking about that instead of the fact that Democrats have no plan. Well, what's their plan? Again, open borders, illegal aliens over American citizens, men and women's restroom, giving billions of dollars to insurance companies. That's what this whole thing is about. Think about that. I think it's interesting right here. Is this the one? Let's see. I want you to listen to what Rep. Mike Lawler, he just destroyed the Democrats on the House floor.
This policy designed to appeal to an extremist base. The reason we know this is a Democratic shutdown is because of how angry they are that we're about to reopen the government, period. That's all you need to know. In 2023, Jerry Nadler said shutdown is really an extremist policy designed to appeal to an extremist base and hold the whole country hostage. That is exactly what the Democrats have done over the last 43 days. They have held the American people hostage, trying to extract insane things like free health care for illegal immigrants. If they were serious about tackling the health care affordability crisis in this country, then they would address the fundamental problem with Obamacare. Since Obamacare took effect, healthcare premiums have risen by 96%, and on the open market by 114%. When I asked Leader Jeffries to sign on to the 1-year extension of the premium tax credit, he refused. He stuttered, he stammered, he couldn't answer a single question because this shutdown was never about health care. It was always about appeasing a far-left radical base. Chuck Schumer said, every day gets better for us. Catherine Clark said, of course people will suffer. We want to use this as leverage. It is an embarrassment to this country. You should all be ashamed of yourselves for inflicting this pain on the American people, taking away food stamps from 42 million Americans, defunding WIC, not paying our troops, our federal employees, our air traffic controllers. It's a disgrace, and you should all hang your heads in shame.
Boom. Like, you just don't call it out any better than that. I mean, that was absolutely the truth. They got nothing out of it. They were, did they think that under the Trump 2.0 that there was going to get someone to cave? It's just amazing. It's just amazing. How about this? The Congressional Budget Office, which Democrats love to tout when it comes to Trump's tariff plans or anything like that, they look at them as the holy grail, estimates that the Democrat shutdown caused up to $14 billion in economic losses and cuts to the GDP by as much as 2%. I want to show you this right here. This is from the Congressional Budget Office. So when the GDP for the fourth quarter comes out and it's down, you think Democrats is going to say that's because of the shutdown? Are they going to try to say, look at what's happening in Trump's economy? You wait and see. I'm going to keep this up on my bookmark tab because it isn't going to be too long until the numbers come out. Up to $14 billion permanent economic losses and fourth quarter GDP growth down by 2%. They want to destroy this economy. They want to destroy America as long as Trump is president. They want to make it as hard for you as possible. They want chaos in the streets. Why? Because they say, well, this only happens under Trump, even though those are our Democrat Antifa friends out there. Those are our cockroach brown berets out there. Just absolutely insane, guys. Insane. And don't forget, you got 30 minutes to get into the raffle. Let me show you what the raffle is. We are 100% viewer funded. Your donations pays for lights, camera, action, travel, everything, and we appreciate you. Well, you either get one of these, you get to choose between one of these two hats. Let me put them both on really quick. You got either MAGA or Trump. I'm a fan of the MAGA. I love that American flag. It's got American flag 4547 on the sides and Trump in the back. So you get to choose from either one. You don't get both. You get one or the other. And then also some items that Jan Garner shipped us for the raffle. I'll show you that right now. And we are doing the drawing here on this live show. So and you got a good chance to win. I think I'll show you right now. This is what it looks like here. And we'll go through all this in a little while. We got the little guy up there. So you get a good chance to win. And we have a True Patriot Charlie Kirk flag. Unopened. We got two Christmas ornaments. Christmas coming up. We got the Daddy's Home. You can see that in front of the White House. And we got Jesus is my Savior. Trump is my president. And we got the Turning Point USA bracelets and the Trump calendar. 2026 is coming, guys. 2026. So all those items will be shipped out to you guys. One of you lucky winners. If you want to get in, you can use Venmo. Your donations, every $10 donation gets you one entry. If you want, if you donate 30, you get 3 entries, so on and so forth. Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $Oreo Army, givesendgo.com/Oreo 2024. And if you do mobile or online banking and want to do a Zelle transfer, you could do a Zelle transfer to us. Our Zelle address is purepatriot559@yahoo.com. That's PURE, purepatriot559@yahoo.com. And again, we're going to be doing the raffle in this show. And thank you for everybody who's entered. We appreciate you. We can't do it without you. Now let's move on. Oh, hold on one second. I want to put something up on the screen. Give me
Well, hop aboard the Oreo Express, where truth don't hide and we don't second.
All right, sorry. Hopefully they call back. That was my doctor, and I answered it on the 4th ring. So we'll see. I'll give them a call here in a second. I want to get the go-ahead to go. Portland, then we'll really be rocking and rolling. Listen to this right here. John Fetterman talking about his own party on CNN admits that the left is by far more violent and cruel than the right. Take a listen to this.
You said, quote, I've drunk deeply of the venom of both the left and the right. As a connoisseur, I can confirm that the most poisonous, the bitterest, is from the far left. That is pretty remarkable to hear you say that as an elected Democrat. Why?
No. It's just been my personal experience on this thing. And when I asked my digital team, I said, we're on all the platforms. Really, what's kind of the harshest? What's kind of the most personal? And the answer was immediate. He said, "Oh, blue sky. It's blue sky." And the difference is, the right would say really rough things and names. Some names I won't repeat on TV, but the on the left, it was like they want me to die, or that we're cheering for your next stroke, or that's terrible that depression won. Why couldn't it depression won? And I hope your kids find you. They even have like the graphic, a GIF where they have like a stroke, in your head, cheering at that. Yeah, and they said that. I remember one. They claimed, "Oh, the doctor let us down," and why did they have to save his life? Just really, I just can't imagine. People are wishing, I wish he dies, or I want him to die. Literally cheering for a stroke. And I don't know what the kind of a place where that comes from. That's much different than just calling me a name.
It's crazy to see somebody who's on the left admit to what they deal with. And the party he's talking about, the Democrat Party, that is what's controlling Dollar Store Obama, Chuck Schumer, all these people that you go out there to see shut down the government. He calls it far left. I'm calling it left, because that's where the party has went to. And he's admitting it right there. It's crazy. And I told you guys they were calling for him to hang because he was voting yes on opening up the government and supplying hungry families with food. How about this one? The B. Let's get to the next one. Governor Gavin Newsom's former chief of staff arrested by FBI in public corruption probe. Oh, really? We got a lot on this one, guys. Let's check it out. This is from the Department of Justice. This investigation has been going on for 3 years. It says political consultant Dana Williamson, 53 of Carmichael, was charged by federal grand jury with conspiracy to commit bank fraud, wire fraud, conspiracy to defraud the United States and obstruct justice, subscribing to false tax returns, and making false statements. U.S. Attorney Eric Grant announced the 23-count indictment was unsealed following Williamson's arrest this morning. This is a crucial step in an ongoing political corruption investigation that began more than 3 years ago, said U.S. Attorney Grant. As it always has, the U.S. Attorney's Office will continue to work tirelessly with our law enforcement partners to protect the people of California from political corruptions. Today's charges are the result of 3 years of relentless investigative work in partnership with IRS Criminal Investigation and the USA Attorney's Office, said FBI Sacramento Special Agent in Charge Sid Patel. The FBI will remain vigilant in its efforts to uncover fraud and corruption, ensuring our government systems are held to the highest standard. It says disguising personal luxuries as business expenses, especially to claim improper tax deductions, or to willfully file fraudulent tax returns is a serious criminal offense with severe consequences, said IRS Criminal Investigation Oakfield Field Office Special Agent in Charge Linda Nguyen. According to documents between February 2022 and September of 2024, Williamson's conspired with others to divert approximately $225,000 in funds from a dormant political campaign to an associate's personal use. Collectively, they funneled the money through various business entities and disguised it as pay for what was in reality a no-show job. The indictment also alleges that Williamson conspired with a business associate to create false, backdated contract after receiving a civil subpoena in January 2024 from the U.S. Attorney's Office regarding paycheck protection programs made to Williamson's business. This was all started under Joe Biden. People say, oh, this is a hit job. No, they did this in January of 2024. They issued a civil subpoena. And then they're alleging right now that she conspired with business associates to create false and backdated contracts. I think do we have something on this? So Ashley Zavala, one of the reporters for KCRA3, was at the federal courthouse today when Dana Williamson's Gavin Newsom's former chief of staff was in custody. She was escorted into the hearing room. She pleaded not guilty to 23 counts against her. She was in handcuffs, wearing what looked like pajamas, covered by a gray robe with hair in a small bun. Judge Carolyn Delaney approved her release on a $500,000 bond. She could be heard sniffling and softly crying, and gave a judge a soft yes when the judge asked if she understood the terms and conditions of the release. I'm going to refresh this because she added stuff to it I seen on another page. Oh, hold on one second.
Well, hop aboard the Oreo Express, where truth don't hide and we don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud, shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you.
All right, that was some good news. If we can go to Portland tomorrow. I don't have anything that the doctor was holding me back from, so we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's get through this. So, again, sorry for the interruption. I had to get that. It's almost impossible to get a hold of doctors these days. It says U.S. prosecutors flagged concerns with releasing her with evidence of obstruction of justice against her, false contacts, and communication with witnesses. Williamson's attorney pointed her lack of criminal history and a health concerns that prevent her from leaving the area. She has health concerns that prevent her from leaving the area, but not health concerns that would, stop her from embezzling and doing all this fraud. I guarantee, I don't have the time right now, but we could go back and look, and I guarantee she's traveled some luxury places over the last 6 months. It says the conditions include several restrictions from no alcohol, drugs, and must submit to drug and alcohol test. She cannot contact co-conspirators. She must give up her passport and can't open bank accounts or credit cards without approval. Next court date is set for December 11th at a status conference. Isn't that kind of interesting that the people that Gavin Newsom keep around him would be doing this? And I know birds of a feather flock together, right? I'm just pulling back up my Rumble account really quick so I can see you guys. Man, this has been going on for 3 years, folks. And there was other co-conspirators in there. It says court records show, listen to this, Sean McCluskey and former COS chief of staff for Javier Becerra, our attorney general, the chief of staff for Javier Becerra, and Greg Campbell have taken plea deals unsealed within the last hour. So there's some folks that are taking plea deals that are rolling over so they don't get that. I want to know what their plea deal is. Man, these are Democrats. This is politics in the state of California, folks. So we'll move on. Hey, I just wanted to bring this up. I don't have a whole lot on this, but we talked about making homes affordable again. We know it's almost impossible anymore to get a home, do all these things we got to do. You got young kids, or even if you're not young, right now under Joe Biden, mortgage rates hit at least an all-time high in my life. I think it might have been a little bit higher when I was 3 years old, but it was bad. It's bad. And through Trump, it has lowered some percentage points, and they're working on getting that down more. But right now, the Trump administration is now looking into normalizing portable mortgages. I can say it. Portable mortgages, allowing Americans to keep their interest rate, their term, and lender when moving into a different home. FHFA Director Bill Pulte, we are actively evaluating portable mortgages. This also allows you to avoid paying early repayment charges on the current loan, which saving people thousands of dollars. So it says instead of taking out a completely new mortgage, you use the money raised from the sale of your property to pay off your existing mortgage and take out a new mortgage on the same terms with your existing provider to cover the cost of buying your new home. So let me give you an example right now. If I wanted to sell my home and go buy another home right now, I would be over probably 7.5% interest rate. But there's more to this that's not mentioned here, but could possibly be tied into this. So I could take my mortgage right now, have that paid off at 3.5%, and go to the same bank, get another loan at 3.5%, saving hundreds of thousands of dollars, essentially, keeping my mortgage payment a lot lower than at 7% interest rate. Another interesting thing that I heard, they haven't talked about it yet, but I think it's going to be floated, is let's say right now the housing market's not doing too well in the United States. Some areas are really booming. Usually my area is always booming. People want to move to the Central Valley. It's been some of the most affordable living in California. But with all the stuff Gavin Newsom's doing and interest rates, homes that would usually stay on the market for, when I bought this house, I think the average home stayed on the market for less than 3 days, 4 days. You put it up for sale. When we were looking for homes, they were asking, let's say 210. I was like, we have to offer 230. We would offer 230 and it would be outbid. But what there is talks about is I have a 3.5% interest rate. It's hard to sell a house right now. They're on the market 30, 45, 50 days. What if I could guarantee you my interest rate if you buy my home? Think about that for a second. You can't go find anything under whatever 6.5% or whatever the interest rate is right now. But if you buy my home, I can transfer my interest rate to you. That would be incredible. That would be absolutely incredible. And people wanting to, because there is people that want to, their home's almost paid off. Their kids are off to, left college, have their own jobs, and they want to downsize. If they sold their house and moved out, they would have to pay a high interest rate when they bought a smaller piece of property, a smaller home. The way this works, they could actually transfer that to somebody that wants to buy it. And I don't know if it's going to go through, but I think it's absolutely, when I think of everything, because we were joking about this a year ago and we were like, we can't afford to move. If we wanted to move right now, we got a 3.5% interest rate on our home. If we were to sell the house and move, we'd be looking a year ago at 7.5%. We couldn't afford to move. Even if the house was half the price of the one we live in now, we would still be paying more. So hopefully this has something to do. Hopefully they can do something like this. Now they had the Make America Healthy Again event. And I want you to listen to some things that were talked about. They did talk about health, but they had a lot of funny stuff. I think I'm focusing more on the funny stuff here. But listen to JD Vance talk about what really
everybody else.
People off.
And that is a big part of the story of what you want to talk about, like populism. And you want to talk about people being pissed off. Well, yeah, people are pissed off when they don't have good jobs. And people are pissed off when things disappear and move overseas. And people are pissed off when they feel like, you know, other countries are being prioritized over the United States of America. And all of that is part of the populist resentment of the past, 20 or 30 years in American politics. You know what really pisses people off? When they realize that their loved ones are dying much sooner than everybody else. And that is a big part of the story of what's going on in Appalachia and why I think so many people in Appalachia feel left behind. I mean, my story, obviously, it's been, like you said, I'm like the golden boy. That things have just worked out for me in this really incredible way. I feel so lucky and so grateful for it. But I also feel a certain sense of guilt because there are a lot of people who grew up in families like mine who haven't had an easy life and who haven't had all this economic opportunity and who haven't had, a person that they've fallen in love with and they've been able to sort of build a stable, nice family like me and Usha have been able to build. And that gives me a sense of purpose because I want those people to have the same opportunities that I've had. But it also gives me a great sense of anger because we never should have gotten to the point that we are today. And the reason that we have is because of failed leadership, and it's failed leadership over generations. And by the way, you talk about Appalachia, you were talking about people who, though they don't have much, would take the shirt off their back and give it to a complete stranger because that's what you do. If you go back to America's biggest wars, World War I, World War II, Vietnam, which are the counties that filled their draft quotas with volunteers instead of with draftees? It's very often the parts in deep Appalachia where you've got grinding poverty, but you've also got this incredible love of country. So if any place in this country deserves not to be left behind, it's Appalachia. But on the public health stuff in particular, the numbers don't look good. And it's one of the reasons why I'm such a big supporter of what you're doing, because these are people who deserve to live better, healthier lives, but they really have been left behind by this country's leadership.
Amen. Amen. Now let's get into some of the other talk here that was going on between Vance, our VP Vance,
we're talking about like
RFK Jr. There's some goodies that's coming up about lowering prescription drugs. Have
been actually working with private industry to lower the cost of prescription drugs for American citizens. Obviously, if you go back to like the MFN stuff, meaning most favored nation drug pricing, that really has happened because the president and Bobby and a number of members of the team have been actually working with private industry to lower the cost of prescription drugs for American citizens. Now, it would be great if we could get congressional Democrats to actually do something meaningful with us, because you would think, you think Democrats, they like to say that they're for the working people against the big pharma companies. So you would think that legislatively they would want to work with us, but it's actually been hard to get them to work with us. So we've had to sort of go outside of the system and work with private industry to do some of this stuff. And I think you guys have done an incredible job with that. But if you look at a lot of our most important health initiatives, they've come through partnership with private industry in some form or another. And I also think that there's a mindset shift where you mentioned some of the people like Marty, like Jay, who have been such a critical part of what you've been doing. The thing that I love about the team that Bobby has put together is, yes, a lot of them have a sort of private sector mindset. They just want to get things done. They don't care about the bureaucracy or they don't care about all the people saying no in government, because as Bobby and I have learned, there are a lot of people saying, no, you're not allowed to do that, or no, you shouldn't do that. And we just have to punch through that in order to achieve results for the American people. But I also just love that Bobby has put together a team of people who are not terrified to think about things in new and interesting ways. And if you think about what has been so broken about the public health bureaucracy in this country for years, for decades, generations even, it's that people think in incredibly conventional ways. And if you bring them a non-conventional idea, their automatic assumption is, no, we're not allowed to talk about that, much less fund something related to that. And I think it's maybe the most important thing of all the specific initiatives that you guys have worked on effectively. The most important thing is that your team is willing to ask questions that people in government haven't been asking in a long time. And if you think about how unhealthy the American population has gotten over the past 20 or 30 years, you're not going to fix that problem unless you have people at the table who are asking different questions than the ones that were asked 20 years ago.
Amen. Amen. A whole shift when it comes to the way we're looking at big pharma, the way we're looking at prescriptions. And one thing he pointed out that makes me sad is Democrats don't want the Trump administration to succeed. They want your prices to go up. They want your healthcare costs to go up. They want when you go to the pharmacy, they don't want that cost to go down by 80, 90%. Could you imagine, again, we talk about the team. You got an offense and a defense. Could you imagine if you had the greatest offense in the world? We'll talk about the Trump administration. And you're just throwing bombs. And every time you score a touchdown, the defense don't come on the field and the other team scores a touchdown. That's kind of Republican and Democrats right now, folks. It really is. There's nobody on the Democrat Party that's saying, hey, we're going to work on Trump with this one. Nobody. Oh, you can cut healthcare costs? Prove it. I'll be on your side. You haven't heard any of them say that. And it's really disappointing. Take a look at this one. Who's the funniest guy in the cabinet? They had a good laugh, and then we got some other good laughs. Take a listen to this.
My goal is to get there.
Who is the funniest guy on the cabinet?
Well, obviously, the President of the United States. I mean,
beside him.
Hey, so beside him, I mean, look, we all have different views on this. My personal vote for funniest person outside the president is probably Marco.
Yeah, Marco.
He has an incredible sense of humor. He's got great comedic timing.
Rival.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, you know, there are a couple.
I like how they can just be human. Be human and not politicians. I think we need to more of that.
Views on this. My personal vote for funniest person.
This guy on the cabinet.
We just watched that one, but that was them over there. Listen to this. This is behind the scenes funniest.
About here, and he said, "You know what I said to him? He said, I've had it up to here with you." One of the funniest moments in any cabinet. President Trump had them bring in a full-size picture of himself with Putin, and when they were in Hawaii, and he's very tall, and Putin was very short. Putin came up to about here, and he said, "You know what I said to him?" He said, "I've had it up to here with you." Okay.
I remember that.
There are 8 presidents from Ohio. How many can you name?
So they had some good times there. Oh man, I'm glad they can laugh and have a good time. I'm glad they can laugh and have a good time. We need more of that in this country with everything going on. How about this? Some breaking news from FBI Director Kash Patel. Talking about one of the biggest problems we have in this country is the fentanyl coming. You know, we've done a lot on the border. We've done a lot with Border Patrol, our DHS, a lot of our different federal law enforcement partners. Trump has done tariffs. Trump has worked with China trying to keep fentanyl from coming onto our shores and in our cities and in our states. Take a listen to what Kash Patel has announced now.
At a level never seen before. While at Ministry of Public Security headquarters, I met with my counterpart at MPS, where the Chinese government agreed on a plan to stop fentanyl precursors. What does that mean? The People's Republic of China has fully designated and listed all 13 precursors utilized to make fentanyl. Furthermore, to control 7 chemical subsidiaries that are also utilized to produce this lethal drug. Effective immediately, essentially, President Trump has shut off the pipeline that creates fentanyl that kills tens of thousands of Americans. These substances are now banned, and they will no longer be utilized by the Mexican drug trafficking organizations or any other DTOs around the world to make this drug. This historic achievement has saved tens of thousands of lives. This historic achievement would not have been possible without the tremendous team of President Trump, the Attorney General, the Department of Justice, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and Ambassador Perdue in China.
So there you have it. There you have it. That was great news. And you guys got 10 more minutes to get in. Again, we can, if we can raise the money, we could go. If you guys are having a Patriot weekend in Portland, they're at the ICE facility, and we would need to rent a rental car tomorrow and at least one night's hotel. The rental car is about $300. The hotel we could probably get for $110. And then obviously gas money. I'm sure we can raise some money while we're driving for gas and food. So I'm not even going to worry about that or the next night's hotel right now. So if you guys want to help out, we do have a raffle going on. Check this out. One of these could be yours. You get to choose between the Trump or the MAGA. You got 10 minutes to get in because we're going to be doing the raffle live during this show. Check this out. We got Trump and MAGA light up hats. Let me hit this button. So, and they have all these different settings where they go to voice, audio, and everything else. You'll get to choose between either Trump or MAGA there. And also, Jan Garner donated some stuff that as well. Let's see if I can get this up right here. I'm going to move my chair. We got a Trump calendar. Boom. A Trump calendar. And Daddy's Home Christmas ornament. Jesus is my savior. Trump is my president. Christmas ornament. We got a Turning Point USA bracelet and a True Patriot Charlie Kirk flag. Those items will be shipped out to you if you're the lucky winner. If you guys want to get in, Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App $ Oreo Army. We also have our GiveSend Go right there, givesendgo.com/Oreo 2024. And as well as, thank you, Janice. Janice is in for one. And as well as if you do mobile or online banking and just want to do a Zelle transfer to us, you can do that as well. Our Zelle address is purepatriot559@yahoo.com. That's PURE patriot559@yahoo.com. And again, if we can raise that money by tonight, it have to be tonight because I would have to reserve the rental car and pick it up in the morning and take that long 12-hour drive to Portland. There's some rumors. I've reached out to somebody. I think some great Patriots are going to show up on the Patriots weekend down in Portland. So we've been down there before. We had a good time. So if you guys want to help us, we appreciate it and want to say thank you. Want to say thank you more than you know. So you got 9 minutes to get in on that raffle, guys. Let's see what else we got here. Check this out. You want to talk about something crazy? We actually got a news article about this. Homeland Security posted this. It says this Senator Duckworth staff member allegedly claimed to be a lawyer of a 40-year-old illegal immigrant who had been deported to Mexico 4 times and had a DUI conviction. In order to seek his release from custody, he accomplished this by falsifying an official Department of Homeland Security form. We look forward to a response from Senator Duckworth. I'm sorry. That's instant arrest right there. That's instant arrest. This person from Senator Duckworth's office went in, illegally lied on a form, falsified it, an official Department of Homeland Security form, and got an illegal alien released. Listen to this.
As legal representation for an illegal migrant in Illinois. That staffer allegedly knew it too. A shocking new claim from ICE acting director Todd Lyons accusing a Democrat Senate staffer of fraudulently posing as legal representation for an illegal migrant in Illinois. That staffer allegedly coming from Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth's office. Hello and welcome, everyone. I'm Sandra Smith. This is America Reports, Hour 2. Good to have you here today, Trace.
Sandra, great to be with you. I'm Trace Gallagher in Los Angeles. John Roberts has the day off. ICE says the illegal migrant has been deported 4 times, and Fox News has video of the visit in question.
Senior correspondent Mike Tobin reports live on the breaking details from Chicago for us. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Sandra. A letter has been delivered from Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons to the office of Senator Tammy Duckworth, accusing one of her staffers of misrepresenting himself as a lawyer in order to get an illegal immigrant released from federal custody after he was picked up as part of Operation Midway Blitz. Lyons and his staff released a video they claim shows a staffer named Edward York on October 29th having traveled to Missouri where the detainee was being held. Now, that detainee is Jose Ismael Ayuso Sandoval, and ICE claims he's a four-time deportee and also has a conviction for DUI. They claim York filled out a G-28 form known as a Notice of Appearance as Attorney or Accredited Representation form, when in fact York, according to ICE, is not an attorney. So the meat of the letter boils down to one line. In a discussion with a federal officer, York claimed to be Mr. Ayuso's attorney. Now, included in the letter is a post from the Montgomery County, Illinois Democrats, apparently from October, stating that a Duckworth staffer was headed to get Sandoval released. It did not intend to reveal that he worked for Duckworth, and Governor Pritzker's office is heavily involved, according to that post. Now, we know that Edward York is, in fact, staff for Senator Duckworth. He is a caseworker who is supposed to help constituents with different problems. He is not listed with the bar in Illinois or Missouri. Duckworth's office confirms they have received the letter. They have found problems with it, right down to the fact that the JB in Governor J.B. Pritzker is spelled wrong. A representative Duckworth's office says this one requires lawyers to look at it before they issue a formal response.
Man, we should. I mean, it's beyond tyranny, guys. It's beyond tyranny. These people have been arrested. They're in the country illegally, deported 4 times. Deported 4 times. Shouldn't be here. You know what that means? I don't know if you know what that means. That means he's got his due process already under prior administrations. That's why he was deported. He wasn't deported under this administration in Trump and came back in. That's not happening right now. But I hope they go after these people. Renee O, thank you for the $50 donation and getting into the raffle and helping us. Thank you, Renee. We appreciate you, and I will add you to this. Thank you so much for helping us. We love our Oreo army. We love our Oreo army. How about this new commander op at large and some of his team setting their sights on Charlotte, North Carolina? Listen to this.
Missions across, sources confirming that the commander behind several of these large-scale missions across the United States, including Operation Midway Blitz, they're now heading to. So Border Patrol Chief Gregory Bovino and some of his team, that deployed to Chicago in early September. Well, they packed up and they hit the road today, according to our sources. Now, they're expected to touch down in North Carolina within the coming days, where locals there are already bracing for what's next. We heard from the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department clarifying their role to News Nation, saying in part, quote, the CMPD has no authority to enforce federal immigration laws. CMPD does not participate in ICE operations, nor are we involved with the planning of these federal activities. CMPD will become involved in situations where there is criminal behavior or criminal warrants that fall under our jurisdiction. Now, some business owners, meantime, in neighborhoods with prominent immigrant populations say they are concerned about the deployment. Take a listen to what one business owner said here.
Sick in my stomach. As an American citizen, I had to carry my passport because the way they look, the way they talk, and because my accent.
Now, next stop for the team, Louisiana. Sources telling us they're going to zero in on New Orleans, launching operations similar to what we saw in both Los Angeles and Chicago. Sweeping raids at big box stores like Home Depot and targeted arrests based on criminal history is some of the things that we can expect. Now, Chief Bovino faced fierce criticism from Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker and Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson over his tactics, sparking legal challenges throughout his run across the Windy City. But even as Bovino moves on, ICE and Border Patrol operations will continue across Chicago, Secretary Newsom saying more federal resources will be coming to Chicago. Now, DHS is not commenting on the move, only saying that agents continue to operate nationwide. Now, we are also in communication with Charlotte's mayor's office, who says that they are aware of this deployment and these moves here. They're working on a statement right now, Nicole. Of course, we'll bring that to News Nation as soon as we have it.
All right. So, Allie, what are lawmakers saying about the deployment?
Yeah, so some of these deployments that we've seen, right, have been in blue states. And this is kind of a horse of a different color because it's a swing state. And the response coming from lawmakers in North Carolina is one that's more welcoming. Take a listen to what a representative had to say.
But I certainly support the efforts that Border Patrol, that Immigration's Customs Enforcement are doing right now to particularly remove dangerous, illegal criminal aliens who are here in our country. I'm proud of the work that they've been doing to interdict illegal and illicit drugs that are killing so many Americans. So I'm very proud of what these men and women who are doing to keep our border secure and to remove dangerous folks.
Now, Nicole, DHS is touting a decline in crime kind of across the board when it comes to Operation Midway Blitz, also adding, as you mentioned, more than 3,000 arrests were made since this operation began in early September. So it's likely we'll see similar moves play out in both North Carolina and Louisiana as well.
Let's go. Let's go. I want to go to, I think we're going to go to one of those that aren't that crazy, but I would love to go to New Orleans and be able to cover what's going on there. If they start having protests, that's the second city they're going to. So we have time. Hopefully it's not over Christmas, but that would be awesome. How about this? When we talk about what's going on and how crime has went down in these areas, we discussed that on the previous live stream. The city of Northbrook, Illinois, posted an entire page to their website detailing their commitment to protecting illegal aliens. These people need to lose any funding. This is crazy. It says community rights and commitment. Northbrook is a welcoming and inclusive community. Every person who lives, works, studies, or visits here deserves to feel safe, respected, and values. The village of Northbrook commits to helping promote a core American value that no one should be targeted because of the race, color, ethnicity, ancestry, national origin, religion. So what they're saying is we're going to make illegal aliens just like the LGBT. We're going to give them special rights. It says, everyone, emergency help is for everybody. It goes through this whole long things. Concerns about the conduct of federal agents during immigration enforcement actions in Illinois can be reported to the Illinois Accountability Commission, housed within the Illinois Department of Human Rights, established on October 2023. 2025. This is, again, more of your tax dollars in Chicago going. This was done by an executive order. They started the Illinois Department of Human Rights like 2-3 weeks ago. And so they're going to be making sure they're protecting illegal aliens. Crazy. How many remember this one? This was great. We got it. We got an update on
When
this.
you see that, what do you think right now?
Tara, once again, this is my first.
Well, let's watch the video of what happened that day that they are.
Up with liberation! Up with down, down with deportation! Down, down with deportation! Up with liberation!
But when you see that, what do you think right now?
Tara, once again, this is my first time being federally indicted. Like I said, I plan on pleading not guilty. The evidence will come out in court, and I plan on winning. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Just really quickly, I did want to ask you about just the fact that conspiracy to impede an officer is up to 6 years in prison, forcibly impeding and intimidating an officer is up to 8 years. Is that that could actually hinder your ability to serve in Congress? Are you concerned about that? Did she just sign off? Did she just leave the chat?
Yes, she did. And we got an update, and she's grifting even harder today. I seen that she posted this earlier. It says, I just walked out of federal court where I pleaded not guilty to the charges against me. I will continue to stand up to authoritarianism and call this out for what it is, political prosecution. But I need your help to do it with defending this case on top of running a campaign. Your support matters to me. Just absolutely amazing. Hopefully she gets some prison time. That's what I'm hoping for. And then we talked about this yesterday, guys, that it could happen. And I'll give you some good news and bad news. The bad news is that we have activist judges. Listen to this.
Breaking news. A federal judge in Chicago has issued a ruling ordering 615 people detained by federal immigration officers to be released from federal custody by Friday afternoon.
Okay, so we covered this yesterday, and there's some gray areas here. So that judge said, I'm going to be an activist, and I'm going to release these people back into the country they don't belong in, back to the country they're not a citizen of, and instead of letting the legal process play out. I got another one, and I'll explain it to you right here. Listen to this was CNN's take on it. Take a look at this.
Immigration rights attorneys who are saying that these arrests by people who have
no more
deportation
entries into the
orders, who have
raffle.
no criminal history, are simply illegal.
Affiliate WLS reports that a federal judge has ordered the release of hundreds of people arrested as part of the Trump administration's immigration crackdown in Illinois. This deals a major blow to federal efforts to detain and deport as many undocumented people as possible. CNN's Whitney Wild is following the latest from Chicago. Whitney, what more are you learning?
Well, Boris, what we can say is that this is, as you said, this is a major win for plaintiffs' attorneys, immigration rights attorneys who are saying that these arrests by people who have no deportation orders, who have no criminal history, are simply illegal. The judge today is ordering the release of hundreds of people who have been arrested. Plaintiffs' attorneys believe that up to 3,000 people have been arrested between June and October. And the district court judge who has listened to this case voiced quite a bit of skepticism that the majority of those people have any criminal record, have any reason to be remaining in U.S. custody. And so now he is ordering the continued review of people who are in custody and the release of those who are in custody. This more practically applies to all 3,000 people who have been arrested by ICE and the Customs and Border Patrol between June and October. Plaintiffs' attorneys believe that number is actually lower than the total number. So it does apply to all of those people, but most practically speaking, it applies to 615 people who are currently in custody all across the country. I spoke with the plaintiffs' attorneys after the judge issued their ruling, and they said of those 3,000, they believe 1,100 simply left voluntarily after they were placed in custody because they gave up on their immigration status fight and chose to leave the United States. So this is, again, an enormous win for the ACLU.
All right. And now there is some contradictions here on, again, what they're using. I don't think these people will get released. I think the federal government will fight this and they will win. It's gonna, oh, look at Trump doing all these bad things. No, the way they're doing it, and it's very similar. I just want to say it's very similar to how they prosecuted January 6ers. Is the kind of tactics Democrats are using to free illegal aliens. Remember when they said what was it? I can't remember the code anymore, but they got them on that has never been used for anything like that before. It was a law that was based on Enron. Remember that? And this is going to happen the same way. From what I'm understanding and the things I'm reading, and we'll probably cover more of this, is that there's conflicting. It's conflicting what the judge is ruling versus how immigration works. Immigration don't report to Congress. They don't report to the Senate. They report directly to the executive branch. That's how it works. They're under the executive branch. So you cannot have a court do this. And we'll get into more of that. And then good. I see John's in here. John got his flag. Congrats, John. I'm glad we got all that sorted out. And you got the American flag. That is awesome. Congrats. Congrats. That is awesome. What else do we have here, guys, before we get into the raffle? That might be it. So let me go check some things out. I know we got Renee. Why is that there? That's weird. There's a picture down there. I've never seen that before. And it's actually on there. How do I remove that? Let me see. Oh, okay. Right, so we got Renee. Oh, for 5 more. Yeah, I think. Thank you, Renee. We had Jan Garner get in for 1 more, and glad that Jan is at home recovering. Say a prayer for Jan. Let me make sure we didn't have anything else. Let's go to the studio here. Live chat. Donations. None in the live chat. Ooh, let me check out one more thing here. And let me go back through them. This is what it looks like so far. Take a look at that. We got that cutie, good-looking kid right there in the middle. Give me 1 second. I'm going to double check Cash App. Oh, wrong phone. I think Renee was the only one to get on Cash App. Yeah, Fred got in. Fred B's in there from Monday. Let me check. Zelle. Nobody extra on Zelle. And let's see. Let me see what else. Let me check Give, Send, Go. And Venmo. Now Venmo really quick. So we added, I think, 6. I get Nola in there. Nola said, "Hey, Josh, if I win, I want to donate it back for another raffle." Thank you so much, Nola. I think I do have you in here. Maybe not. That is weird. Okay. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Nola. Maybe that was from this show. Let me put Nola in here 2 times. It's weird. Janice in for 1. Weird how it's doing that. For some reason, Venmo's not putting them in order to when the donation came in. It's telling me a donation came in like 2 minutes ago. I'm like, no, that was a little while ago. Make sure. 2 days ago, did I get Melissa on here? Add Melissa. Melissa A. So that was from 2 days ago. So we got Melissa on Venmo, Nola, and Janice. So I think we're good. Let me double check. my Rumble screen here. Refresh this one. You have Jan Garner from this one. And others. All right, we're ready to rock and roll, guys. Let me put this up back on the studio so I can see your comments. All right, so we got Jan Garner for 4. She got in on day 1. She got in again today. Saint Fan for 1. Fairness 2020 for 6. Darla Miller for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Renee O for 2. Old Uncle Bill for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we got Lee Bart for 5. That was gifted to Lee Bart from Old Uncle Bill. Renee O for 4. That was gifted from Old Uncle Bill. And Julius, you're in for 4. That was gifted for Old Uncle Bill. We got Fred B for 1. Brent B for 1. Nola for 2. Renee O that just jumped in for 5. Jan Garner jumped in again for 1. Janice N and Melissa A, guys. I think we're ready to rock and roll. Let me put all the chats on here. Jan Garner says 6, already knowing that she wants to sort it 6 times. So let's take a look at this. We're going to put this on the screen and sort it 6 times. Good luck to you all. We're going to shuffle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let's see here. Let me do this up here. All right. We are ready to rock and roll. Good luck, you all. Here we go. Who gets it? Who gets it? Who gets it? Ooh, Lee Bart. Lee Bart. Congrats, Lee Bart. Give Old Uncle Bill a shout out and a thank you. Congratulations on that. Now, Lee, let me see. I don't know if Lee's in the chat right now. I haven't paid attention to the chat. But if you are, or if you watch this later, Lee, send me your address. Send me an email at oreoexpress@yahoo.com. oreoexpress@yahoo.com. Just give me your address, and we'll get that box and that hat. Also, which hat do you want, Lee? Do you want the MAGA or do you want the Trump hat? So that way we can make sure you have the right one. And again, we're going to try everything in our powers. I got to find out what Rachel has planned for us tonight. I might do another live tonight to see if we can raise a little bit more money so we can at least get the rental car tomorrow. I'll let you guys know here. I'm going to see what else I can do. I want to say thank you for everybody who's tuned in. Thank you for everybody who shares this out. And we appreciate you. Can't do it without you. We will see you later. Have a good evening and God bless.
Well, hop aboard the Oreo Express, where truth don't hide and we don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud, shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you.